Welcome back, everybody. It is that time of the year where people are hitting the gym more, maybe picking up some new books and watching their diets to meet New Year's resolutions. But those can sometimes be tough for many people out there to keep.
So joining us today is Kate Carmichael, the owner and clinical director of ATX Counseling, to talk more about the psychology behind New Year's resolutions and maybe give us some tips too for navigating what can sometimes turn into a bit of a stressful start to the new year. So Kate, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I think New Year's resolutions can be really fun to set these big, exciting, dramatic goals. Often though, where we run into trouble is it can make us feel like who we are right now is not enough, that you're not good enough as you are. And there's a big industry out there that wants to sell us on the idea that you could be better, that there is some better version of you out there. And if you just buy what they're selling, you can find it. So there's a lot of noise telling us who to be.
So when people are sitting down to maybe make that list, how do you cut through some of that noise?
Well, actually a big fan of setting resolutions and goals and thinking about what you want, because that's often how we get there, is learning about you and what you need. But I think what we want to practice is flipping it on its head a little bit. So if you can think about what it is that you will feel if you were to achieve all your goals today. Maybe you'll feel more confident or have more fun, or you'll enjoy your life more. And we want to start to bring in, incorporate those elements now so that you're not waiting always for some future thing to happen that may or not happen outside of you to feel good.
Kate, from a psychological perspective, what makes a resolution more likely to succeed?
I think part of it is when people think about it as a creative project and we detach our self-worth from this goal. So often there's a feeling of, well, if I just lose the weight, then I can feel good about who I am. So we're attaching our self-worth to some future external expectation we have that may or may not happen. Also, I want to tell people, today is January 6th. If you have failed already, do not panic, okay?
We're just starting out.
You know what? If you've already, it's an opportunity to learn, because we want to think of it as a creative project that's ongoing and evolving, and you're going to adapt as you need to instead of a rigid expectation.
Yeah, that it has to be met at this very point.
Or I have failed in 2026.
Yeah, the whole year.
The year is over. Yeah.
So you mentioned kind of talking kindly to ourselves and not, beating ourselves up for a slip up on a resolution. How do you do that? How does one just make their brain say, all right, I'm not mad that I totally whiffed on January 6th?
Yes, Progress often rewards consistency. I think people put a premium on these huge before and after pictures, but progress rewards consistency. So with my clients, if they are wanting to implement a new habit, I'll often have them practice consistency. So just show up at the gym, walk for 5 minutes on the treadmill, and go home. The next day, just show up at the gym, do some bicep curls, and go home. Pick one or two things. What I'm practicing is this is now becoming part of the rhythm of your day. And so you have to practice showing up. That's where people, I think, put such a premium on a big change rather than just showing up makes a big difference.
And what do resolutions really tell us about human behavior and the desire for self-improvement?
Oh, I feel like part of what it tells us is that we often feel inadequate. That a lot of people feel like if I just make this resolution and get this thing I'm striving for, I can feel okay. But what happens is when you achieve that goal, often if we don't fix the self-worth piece, other goals will just fill its place. And then you end up in this cycle that just feels heavy and hard to manage.
Talk to me just a bit about any other tools or anything you would arm people with at home who are watching this and going, okay, it's 6 days into the month, but I kind of want to start fresh on what I had intended to do or how I'm going to approach it.
The first thing is it's often a practice in self-awareness. If you know you're not a morning person and your intention is to wake up at 5 a.m. every day and go to the gym, you are already abandoning what's good for you. So what society tells you that getting up and going to the gym at 5 a.m. may be a message that you need to look at. So the biggest thing is get in touch with yourself first. What are you going to feel when you achieve your goal? What do you need to make that happen? And then try to take small steps towards it.
Well, Kate Carmichael, we appreciate you always coming in and talking to us about this, but Happy New Year to you and good luck with everything that's to come in the new year.
Thank you so much.
All right, we want to send it now.